So, what we're going to do now, though, is go through this quest with one of our favorite friends here, at least mine, Zoltan Kuhl.
Yes, I live once more. I'm very hard to kill, and really, you did a sloppy job. But enough small talk. I need your help. An artifact lies in the ruins of Sescheron, guarded by the spirit of a mighty warrior, who will only grant it to the worthy. I think you'll have a better chance of impressing this spirit than I. Aid me in this, and I'll use the artifact to help you. The Nephilim, that fool, actually killed me. Of course, this was not my first time stepping through that door, and I imagine it won't be my last. Fortunately, I am well prepared. Some would say that animating a constructed body with preserved memories is not truly coming back to life. I say those fools don't understand the sheer wonder of being Zoltan Kuhl.
Well, I have to admit, I've always liked Zoltan Kuhl, and I liked that little bit of arrogance from him. Now, so the new realm is in Act 3. And here it is, the Ruins of Sescheron. It is a new area available through bounties. Now, I know I'm very late to the party here. A lot of people have gone through this, gone through it on the PTR, have reported on it. So really my reasons for doing this, again, kind of posterity. And again, maybe there are people that still come here that like to see the Diablo content that maybe either haven't been keeping up to date on what the new patch does. Maybe there are some people that haven't been playing since the original game, want to see what new has been added to see maybe it's worth coming back. Or maybe you're even one of the console players that haven't quite gotten the patch yet and you want to see what the hoopla is and you just happen to come here. So this is the Ruins of Sescheron. This is... I like the music so far, first and foremost. This area, and in fact this spot right here, is basically the barbarian village that was besieged by Baal in the very beginning of Lord of Destruction for Diablo 2. And I'm pretty sure right there is where he came out to greet Baal and basically said he wouldn't pass, and then Baal, of course, just, well, was Baal.
Baal has invaded Sescheron. But we will fight until we are no more. For we are all that stands between him and our sacred mountain. And I swear, by the blood of Bulkathos, hell will pay dearly for each of our deaths.
I do like the aesthetics of the zone. And it is using the new technology they have of going in and outside of doors quite freely here right in the very beginning. Now, I did visit the zone once to perform a bounty, just to try it out. I just made sure I didn't go too far. And I can tell you that the opening area, from what I've seen, doesn't really change much. I'm going through this on, just to speed things up, I may consider dropping the difficulty, but as of right now, I'm going through on Torment 6, and one thing I'm also doing is kind of testing some changes to the Helltooth set, as you can see there, which was originally a fairly underpowered set. It was a set I rather liked the gameplay style of, but it didn't compare to any of the other Witch Doctor sets at the time. And it does feel a lot better now. The gameplay style has changed, unfortunately, as I did kind of like it, but it is nice to see that they are making changes to try and make things more useful, more viable, trying to add gameplay styles for us here.
I strike at your heart.
So we're going to be trying to follow the arrow here through the ruins. I see a lot of barbarian runes and writing here.
Chief Elder Kanai was the best of us. He could have been the next immortal king. None have come close to bringing the tribes together since Warrusk. But Kanai could have been the one to change that with his indomitable spirit. Though as strong as 3 warriors, his true strength lay in his compassion.
I do not have enough mana.
We showed Baal and his army what it meant to fight true warriors. But when Kanai was killed, it froze the spirits of our bloodied ranks. That was when the battle was lost, for he was truly our king.
So we're getting into the story of Kanai and
The truth
who he is. Now, it is. I think it unfortunate that it's not a return of the Horadric Cube. I mean, after all, I'm still reeling from the death of Deckard Cain. Again, very unfortunate, and I miss that treasure of the Horadric Cube. But, you know, I can kind of understand it. And honestly, I can't fault them because Kanai's Cube is a tribute to a staff member that they lost. And I really love it when Blizzard's able to kind of do that, to put these tributes to either their own or to even their fans when it happens. There have been tributes like this in, say, World of Warcraft, for example.
Dren, the last of our seers, prophesied the darkness would soon pass. He was wrong. Mount Ariad exploded and took our souls with it. Many of our dwindling number were lost that day to madness
more time.
and worse. They
I
are
need
the
mana.
unclean.
My strike is true.
Oh, okay, so he was my bounty. I kind of like how there's a decent mix of old and new here. There are some new monsters like the Frozen Yeti, and I kind of like that they've got this frozen breath attack. That's kind of nice to see. I always like it when they add new creatures, especially since Reaper of Souls. They've added a lot of synergies and new things for creatures to do, to work together. Other things they've added in this place are, of course, new traps, as you probably may have seen there at the edge of the screen. Let's kind of go down here to take a look at it. You've got this right here. Traps to watch out for, and they will hurt you if you... yeah. Ooh, wow, good chunk of health too, actually. It's a very nice zone, as I've mentioned. The aesthetic, the graphical style of it, as well as the music, is quite nice. And I kind of like that it does kind of, it fits into the lore a bit too, you know, since coming to the village that was attacked from D2 kind of brings things together a bit. Something tells me it won't be the last little bit to tie things together either. They're usually very clever about adding hooks that can be used for future content, sequels, and expansions and things like that. Sometimes little cultural references or things that happen in a zone will end up becoming far more expanded upon and kind of like key hints to what a future piece of content might be. So that was my bounty. And it looks like I still need to continue further in order to complete this. So let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes, shall we?
The years wear on us all. Only a few still live. But we have made a good account of ourselves, killing all but the most vicious of the flesh eaters. To think they were once our kin. As long as even one of them still lives, we are all shamed.
Need more time. Need more mana. Needs more time.
Okay, that frost breath, of course, does provide a slow as well. So it's not just a standard channeling piece of damage. Oh, the Rat King. So this is,
My castle.
oh man, one of the new monsters they've added recently, and a terrible, terrible creature when you think about what he does.
Creature is the most unsettling of all the natural denizens of Sanctuary. The male of the species carries the eggs, which the female deposits on his back. In their larval state, they burrow into the male's back, creating visible protrusions. They eat their way out of these protrusions when the host is attacked.
I do not have enough mana. My strike is true.
That is disturbing, actually. I had seen pictures of the Rat King. They showed that off, I think, was it as a BlizzCon panel or something like that before all this content came out, and yeah, that's rather disturbing. I'd rather not think about what they actually do. Rats burrowing themselves out of a... Oh, hello. Beetles. Naja beetles. Oh, and they have fireballs.
I strike at your heart.
You know what's really nice about this too is that all this content gets, of course, added for free. A whole new zone. A new crafting vendor, technically. I mean, that is kind of what this cube is. And again, why I'll be adding this as a... I'm pretty sure at this point my decision is to add it as kind of a crafting corner.
Strike.
That's the segment of the channel I'll put it into. It's a fairly... I don't want to say big, because obviously a lot of the Act 5 zones have shown how big some zones can be. But it feels relatively large without being overbearing. Like some zones in Act 5, while I like the fact that some of them were large, some of them tended to overstay their welcome a bit, especially if they didn't have any side zones to find. Like the beginning of Act 5 was really good because there were a lot of little side zones, a lot of little pieces of content there. And some of the later ones just got big and felt big for the reason of only being big. And here so far, at least the first area, didn't feel obnoxiously large to me.
My strike is true.
But I'm going to attempt to continue to move relatively quickly. Just to kind of get everybody through this. Now, one thing I have noticed is there are special side events. Obviously, there's bounties here. There usually can't be bounties unless there's special side events. But the gentleman that gives you kind of these play-by-plays, Abd al-Hazir, I have seen by accident that he can be found here. You can actually run into him and an event involving him. I haven't done it. I wanted to hold off on doing it in case it was something that would be part of this event. But it looks like it was just a side event that was unlockable for content. But I like that. I like that they've done that. Alright, it's a cursed chest. We're just going to keep moving. Overall impressions says... Oh, hello. Oh, we found it. What the heck are you? That's quite the treasure you have in Kanai's cube.
Kanai's cube. Excellent. You and I will do great things with this, my friend.
No, that slow laugh isn't menacing at all.
The cube was used by my Haradrim brothers in many of their most complex rituals. When its potential became clear, they began to fear its power. The fools. They hid it away, even from me, and created a less powerful implement, the Haradrim cube, which they used for many years.
I'm returning to town.
Alright, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you very much for joining me on this journey here to get Kanai's cube and to show you just what it is capable of. It is a neat item. I am very happy they've added something like this. I think this really opens up the possibilities for some very unique builds. And again, I know I'm late to the party, but as usual, I hope you've enjoyed my spin on the content nonetheless. So, until next time when we meet again, have a wonderful day.